Hey everybody, Will, just in time prepping. Today we're going to talk about SHTF. We can't go over it enough. I'm just going to keep on going over it until everybody gets a full grasp on it. Uh, y'all know that SHTF preparedness is coming up with a plan. That means what things are you going to do both before and during an SHTF event, such as a natural disaster. So you need to make steps on how you're going to prepare for the national disasters. And I know a lot of people say that they don't need a bug out plan, but because they'll be bugging in case of this event. But even though you're going to be bugging in, you're still going to need a plan. Since you need to plan, it's unknown what your change. There'll be a change in your life, even if there's an event. And so you'll need to come to grips with it as the possibility that you'll not be able to stay at home. A fire could sweep through your neighborhood, or a tornado could wipe out your place, or a hurricane or a typhoon could even devastate your area. A flood could wipe out your town, a chemical or radioactive uh, could spill in your area, or dozens of other things could happen. So you need to come up with a bug in plan. And the fact is that in most cases, it's best just to stay put. That's so until you find out what the severity of the problem is. You don't need to do anything but make a plan, and that make sure that you stay at home during the event and stay comfortable in order to be survivable. There are several scenarios where you won't be able to move right away due to a gridlock. That'd be confusion, and you're not implementing a plan like this. You're gonna stay put, try to stay calm, and expect to be holed up for a while before bugging out. So, bugging in, you'll need to have ample supply of food and water, and there'll also be a need for medicine. And you should also plan for things like lighting or emergency power, some communication. And if you're going to be bugging out, you'll need to figure out what you'll need to do and what you'll need to bring. And you want to only bring enough that you can carry. So the biggest thing to emphasize here is that what you'll need in an SHTF scenario is to find out what you don't have of that and just to go get it. Come up with a communication plan. You'll need to contact other people in your group, such as your family and your close friends. And then you'll need to coordinate your next action. This comes into having your plan in place, and to have it all written down, because when things happen, our brain, it doesn't really work that well. It gets confused. So if you have your plan written down in say, a notebook, and just have it put away in a safe place like your safe or something like that. So uh, you'll need to have your combo plan to coordinate movement and to keep it in a steady place, like I was telling you. It will also allow you to securely get in touch with others later on and during the event, or during the event, or after things have settled down, and the communication plan will help you prepare your OPSEC, which will actually keep you alive. And you heard me say OPSEC, so you need to have an OPSEC plan, and you need to protect everyone that you're bringing along in your SHTF situation. So you want to make sure that they're included in your OPSEC plan. Going through the things that you need to protect for, you can figure out what your potential adversary is and what you need to either take or defend against, and what steps to mitigate that threat, you know, such as weapons and such. Also, you need to build a team or a MAG. Well, we've talked about this in the past. It's a MAG is a multi-aid group, and you, if you haven't done so, you need to do so now. Pre-SHTF OPSEC procedures, there will be people mocking at your, excuse me, knocking at your door, and because they were too stupid to prepare. And so you'll need to know, are you prepared to share your supplies with them, uh, such as food and water, like a 30-day water supply or 60-day water supply, whatever you've got uh, stored up in your stores. Are you willing to share that with others? Say they come knocking on your door and they want to come in because they know you prepared. Are you prepared to share that with them? If not, you need to have a plan for what you're going to do. So, what do you do about the neighbors in case of an SHF situation? Say they didn't plan for it to happen. Say your kid's best friend is defenseless because his parents didn't plan for it. Are you going to be willing to take these people in, share what you have with them? These are all things that you have to think through and have it written down in your plan. Make sure that you stick to the plan. You should think it through now before you're faced with a last minute decision that you might regret later. You want to make sure that you're going through your plan with your family. You got to make sure that they know what the plan is just as well as you do, so that say something happens to you that they can go on and carry on without being confused and unprepared. So, what are you going to do about your own family? Are you going to help them? Or are you going to have enough supplies to care for your family? Say they come knocking on your door, they don't live in the immediate family, and are you prepared to take care of them as well? These are all things you have to think about in your plan. And it's like I said before, if you are planning on doing that, you need to store more food and water to prepare for those situations. Find out when you'll take them in, and who you will take in, who you won't take in, and then you'll have to learn to deal with it when that comes up. How are you gonna handle it? Next thing is you'll need to develop a training plan. Certain skills can replace items because if you have the skills, you can use those skills to replace the items later. Medical skills are important because if you don't have the medical skills, then you won't be able to help the sick. So you'll need to think about taking a class at a Red Cross or at at the community college or something like this. And you should definitely be learning how to protect yourself, such as a firearm. You need to familiarize yourself with it, and then you'll need to take the necessary training and make sure that your family's included in that, so that uh, in the event something should happen to you, then they'll be able to take over. You need to make sure that you know the basics of survival. That means if you have to take a survival course, or even you can go on YouTube, watch videos and such to get your plan in place. You'll need to know how to build a fire, you'll need to know how to filter water, and you'll need to know how to make shelter. Uh, You'll need to know how to catch food by trapping or hunting, and you'll need to have things like medical communication, navigation, and other basic skills that you might be missing now. So all these things are things you're going to have to think about, either taking as a class or learning through the internet. So you also need to know your team. So if you haven't got a group or your family members on task with it, you need to put them together so that they can be trained same as you. Find out how to do that, and then you can adjust to it by the whole team being involved in it. You have a better survival rate. So you need to make a list of the critical skills and a list of the people so that you can schedule those people into those positions because you want to make sure that whatever comes up, the person that is skilled in that situation will be your go-to person. So you need to maintain and update your equipment as well. And if you're going to have a bug out vehicle, you got to have it ready to be in shape to take at least 1,000 mile trip. Uh, if you're going to avoid the main roads, then you'll need to make sure the undercarriage is all right. You know, make sure that everything on the vehicle is ready to go at a moment's notice. And then if you have weapons to take along with you, you need to make sure that they are properly maintained, such as cleaning and making sure that the breech is clear of all obstruction, barrels cleaned, so on and so forth. Then you need to go through all these plans with your other team members to make sure that they are online with it as well. So it's pretty much comes down to making sure everybody's online, that they're trained. Everybody's trained in a different field so that you've covered all your bases, that you have enough food and water for everyone in your team, and make sure that you have a plan of what to do when people come knocking at your door wanting to join in because they know that you're prepared. You got to have to know how to deal with that situation. And that doesn't mean, I mean, I'm going to use an example here. Some people think that if people come knocking on their door, they are going to kill them. Now, that's not how you deter people from joining your group. You're going to have to be verbally able to tell them that you just can't, you don't have enough for everyone. Sure, you can take them in if they've been collecting food and water themselves, but if not, you're not really going to be in a position where you can help them too much. So that comes down to assigning duties. So you want to make sure that everyone's involved, and you want to make sure that you have their duties assigned to each person. Each person knows what they're doing. Uh, you want to make sure that they're the go-to person in that situation. The last, or not the last thing, the next thing is to practice your plan. You make sure that your plan needs to be practiced, and the practice should be all taken care of. If you found something, what happens is as you practice these things, you're going to find holes, little holes in your plan, and you'll need to find a way to fill those holes with ways of fixing the hole. I guess that's the best way I can put it. Is just find a way to fix that hole because the more you practice, the more holes you're going to find in your plan, and that's the reason behind practicing is not only so that you know what you're doing, but to find the weaknesses in your plan and fix that weakness. So practice is very important in planning for your SHTF situation. And then the last thing I have for you guys today is check your progress and make sure that there is nothing that's going to block what your plan is going to be. It goes back to your practicing. So, preparing for the SHTF scenario or just dealing with an emergency, you need to sit down and occasionally revisit your planning and just don't overlook the stores or the food that you have. You need to look at how you're storing them, look at the rotation of your stock, and then look at your planned recipes. Same thing goes for teamwork. Everything's going to work out here if you just keep practicing and storing and rotating your food and whatnot. So everything is working out. Everyone is on board, and your family and has regular meetings, or your group have regular meetings and to produce new ways of doing things or better ways of doing things, fill in the holes in your skill sets and whatnot. So that's basically what I have for you guys for today, and I hope you got something out of it. Kind of stumbled through it. I'm sorry, but I want to make sure that you guys understand everything that's going on and what you have to do to prepare. And I've gone through this before, but I'll keep going through it time and time again because it's very important for you guys. Even if you don't think you need a plan, you do, because if an emergency comes up and it's just human nature that when an emergency arises, uh, people kind of their brain kind of scrambles up and they lose track of the distance where you're going in the distance. So that's why I keep going over it for you guys, and I'm hoping every time I do, you guys pick up something new on it. That's all I have for you for today. I want you guys to know that I'm getting pretty close to the giveaway, and just a short rebuff of what you have to do for the giveaway is you must be subscribed to my channel. Yeah, you're gonna have to try to bring in a new subscriber, and then you're gonna do a VR on why you want or need the knife, and then you have to call out a small channel that needs some help in your VR, and that will get you entered into the contest. Um, okay, today is Tuesday, or what day? What is today? Oh, today's Wednesday. Shoot, I was supposed to be doing my live today. I'm sorry I missed it. Shoot. Anyway, I have to do the video instead. Uh, or wait a minute, this video is for tomorrow. I'm all screwed up. I'm not feeling too hot. So I'm supposed to be on video right now, and I'm not. So I guess we'll do the live feed, the live on Thursday, and I have to do a live feed and a video. Eh, that's how I am, I guess. Getting all rattle brained in my old age. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys for today. As you know, it's God bless me and God bless you and God bless the US of A. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys